Hello everyone, this video is about working with React and its functional components. I am expecting that you have read my vlog and you have basic information about React, how you can create a React app, and how can you start your React app. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So now this is my React app. As you guys can see, I have cleared all the files in my source folder. Currently, all I need is app.js and index.js. All other files that are created during the process of React create app, it's not necessary. Only two files that are necessary are app.js and index.js. So make sure you don't delete these two files. And in public folder, these are the files. In my blog, I have covered all that. So I'll just quickly go and introduce Bootstrap code. I'll show you how you can add Bootstrap to your React app and how you can work with props and hooks. So without wasting any time, let's get started. In my app.js, I will write my code, and this code will be JSX, not HTML. I know it looks similar to HTML, but make sure you do some changes, which I'll demonstrate what are some changes you can do on HTML to make it JSX. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go to my browser, I'll type get bootstrap, and the first thing I have to do is import two scripts files that makes any bootstrap code runnable on our app. So once you go to the website, click on docs. Under the point number 2, you have to click copy these two files. Make sure you are putting them in the right folder. In our application, we'll be putting them in index.html. I go to public folder. Under public folder, I go to index.html, and then I'll put it right above our closing head tag. I'll go again and copy the next script file, which will come above the closing body tag. So now after putting these two script files, I can add any bootstrap code, and let's go and do that. For that, I want to tell you guys one thing. It is suggested that you use components and put your code. You write components and show them in app.js. Don't write a whole code in app.js. I know that works, but you need to do some quality code here. So create a components folder, and let's say first, we'll take some component from Bootstrap. Uh, let's just take navbar for now. Let's take this one, copy, and then I've created a folder already, components, and then in components, I'll create another file called navbar.js. In this navbar.js, I have one extension downloaded called ES7 Plus. With that, I can do some shortcuts. So one of the shortcut is RFC, and then click Shift Enter. It will create the function itself. So I do not have to write code for that. It saves my time. So now I'll just paste the code we just copied from Bootstrap. Well, this code is HTML. Now I will show you how you guys can change it to JSX. So the very first thing we're gonna do is click Control F, and you guys can see the class here. In JSX, we do not use class. We will be using class name. So I'll do is change class to class name and replace all. This is the first thing, and the second thing is make sure you have all the closing tags. As you guys can see, there's some red lines saying I'm missing some close tags. I'll quickly do is I'll add this slash. Wherever it's missing a closing tag, I'll just add the slash and I'll save this. This is the very first step. This is how I just added a simple component. You guys can go in the go to Bootstrap and take any code you want, do these steps I just did, and it will work. So I'll just show you now how does this look like. I'll call navbar. Here I go. I'll save this, and I'll make sure I have saved this as well, and I'll do is npm start. But before that, I need to make sure I'm in the right directory. Currently I'm in the wrong directory, so I'll do cd. So I'll go to my React, cd my React directory, hit enter. Now I'm in the correct directory. Now I can do npm start. So in my blog, I have written all those commands: npx create React app, then the name of the React app you want to create, and then the command npm start. This command is used to start your React app, and it's all mentioned in my blog. This might take a couple of seconds depending upon your computer speed. And then after this, I'll show you how I'm gonna use props in my navbar. I'm gonna pass an argument through props. So props basically do is like, I'll show you now the navbar. Let's say I take this nav, but I want to reuse this component in any other applications as well. So to do so, I need to do some minor changes in my navbar. I need to change the title. I might need to say add some more values in my navbar, some links, right? So to do those changes, we'll just call props. We will the props what props does is it will pass the value you want to add. So in case I want to change the value of the navbar title, I'll do that. So one more thing here, make sure you are not adding any extra imports. Get rid of them or it will show you an error. So now here we go. Here's our navbar. So what I was telling you about props is I'm going to show you how I'm going to add those props. The documentation, the theory, I have written all that in my blog, so you can go and read that. So in props, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this title as my prop. I'm gonna pass the value of the title. So all I have to do is I'll go to my app.js, and in the app I'm calling navbar. So in the navbar, I'll write what component, what part I want to pass as an argument. So I want to pass title. So I'll do title, and I'm gonna pass value, let's say text utils or whatever you guys want. You can do that. Save this file here, and in my navbar I'm gonna locate that section, the title section. So for now we have written navbar, so I'm gonna locate that navbar. Here it is, navbar. And now I'll change it to I'll just write a simple JavaScript which is props dot title. So one more thing about JSX, it is very important that it allows you to write JavaScript, making sure that you put curly braces around. So I'm going to put curly braces around this JavaScript. Yes. And another thing, important thing about props is when you are using props, make sure you add props on the function. We are passing props in the function. So right here, you guys can see navbar, and in the brackets, parentheses, I'll just write props. And that's all I have to do. And if I go back, my title has been changed to the prop I just passed to as text utils. So this is how you guys can use props, and it is very interesting. I'll cover one more thing here. It's prop types. Prop types is very important if you want to make sure that you are passing the right data type in your prop. So here I'm passing title as text utils. So this is a string, right? So in case I accidentally pass some other data type, let's say I accidentally pass integer, I want to make sure I don't do such mistakes. So I'm gonna do is I go to my navbar, I'm gonna write a code. So this will be navbar dot prop types. This code you guys can find in the official website of reactjs.org, and you don't really have to learn any of such code. It's all available there. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say my title should always be string, and there's gonna be one error right now, so I'll show you what error it's going to be. If I save this, you guys can see one error. It's because I'm missing imports. So in this React, you have to be very careful with imports. If you add an extra import, it's gonna give you an error as well. If you miss import, it's gonna be an error as well. So make sure you have all the right imports. So there's a shortcut for prop types import, that is IMPT, and it's right at the top. I'll just click this and I got the import. Now I'll save this, the error should be gone. It's gone. So one more function we can do with prop types is I can set a default value. So let's say I forgot to pass I make a prop in my navbar component, and here in my app.js, I just simply forget that to pass it. So I want the navbar to have a default value every time, if in case I forget it. Default props and this, and then I can write inside title, and then I'll just write set title here. This is my default value for title in case I do not pass anything in the argument. So I'll save this. Yes. So this is how you guys can work with props. It's very easy topic. It's very interesting, and it's so now we'll move ahead and talk about states here. I'll talk about useState, which is a part of hooks. So hooks I have already covered in my blog. What are all the theories? It's in my blog. In this video, I'll just show how you guys can use it. So blogs just simply make you write functions without having to create their own classes. So here, useState is a function of a hook. So for that purpose, I'll just create another component, text form. I'll name it .js, and I'll quickly go and take code from Bootstrap. I just need a simple text form, and I'll go to Bootstrap and forms. I'll just go copy this text area here and do all those changes for JSX. Do the class names. One more change for the JSX is you do not use 4, you use HTML4 instead of just 4. And that is it. I'll just call it from my app.js here. And I want to show one more thing here. As soon as I write that component, there's gonna be an error, and we'll see what error is that and why we having that. And text form, make sure you do the import as well. All right, so here we have that error. It's because in the return statement we can only return only one component. So to do multiple returns, we have to either place it in a wrap it in a div tag. So I'm gonna wrap that in the div tag, div container, and I'll put all my code inside that div tag. As soon as I do that, the error is gone, and I'll save it and I'll show you how does this look like. This is my simple text area. I want to use props in a way that when I type something in here and I have a button to change that to uppercase. So when I click that button, the state, the events will change it, all the text inside the text area to uppercase. So to do that, I'll go to the website I'll go to react.org. So I want to use state here. So I'll do is use state. I can even, if you guys want to know any components, if you guys, you can just go to the React website and search the component you guys looking for. It will give you the explanation as well as the practical code you need. So in the text form, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a text here. I'm gonna make a variable called text and store all the data we're gonna type here in that variable. So I'm gonna do is create a variable called text, and then we will set the default value of that variable as enter text here. Since it's gonna be inside the text box, so it should say something like enter text here. And then going this will be used to change the value of text. Usually what we do in programming languages, we just simply assign is what we do is text equals to and what we want to assign. But in React, all you have to call this function right here, you have to call set text and parenthesis, and inside what you want to set the value of text, the new value of text as. So I did that here. So one import I'm missing now is the use states. So I'm using use state here. I need to make sure I'm adding the import as well. use state from React. And then I want to show this variable in my text area. So I'll do is I'll find my text area, here it is, and then I'll put the value as text, and I'll save this. Here we go. We got the enter text here, the text variable inside the text form. That's what we wanted. So, but there's one thing, like I cannot make any changes here. I cannot do anything inside the text and I cannot delete this. I cannot add anything. To to solve that, I'll do is I need to set this. I need to use set text. So what I need to do is inside my text area, I need to create an event called on change. What it does is it allows me to do any changes inside the text area. So I'll create is any on change, and then I will make a function. Let's call it handle change. So this will let me do changes inside the text area. So I'll create it right here. Handle handle change is what we created, and then what we're gonna do is gonna make an arrow function right here. So this is arrow function of JavaScript. So I want to pass events. Events is what is going to allow me to do changes inside the text area. So events, and then I'm gonna set the value of text as what we will type. I want to change the value of text. Set text, and then parentheses inside my set text. I will do is I'll call events dot target dot value. So this function right here will allow me to do any changes inside the text form or text area. I'll save this, and if I go inside and do any changes, I'm allowed to do so. I can add something, and yes, this is how you guys can use states. And I'll do one more example with states. That's going to be a button. I'll add a button, and when I click that button, the state of the text changes to uppercase. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a button real quick from the web bootstrap. I'll go here and take a button. Let's just take a simple primary button, and I'll just put it inside the div tag. I'll name it to convert to uppercase, and this button is gonna throw is gonna create an event called on click. So when I click that, it triggers that event, and I'll call that function handle click. uh, Over here I will create that function, and it will be the arrow function as well, handle click. And then inside my handle click, I'll create a new variable, and let's call it new text. Let new text. And then I'll what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put change the value of the text to uppercase and put that and store that in the new variable we just created to uppercase. And here I'll do is I'll set the text to the new text, and then I'll just save this. And if we go now to our React page, it has that uppercase. I'll refresh this, and I'm gonna type something inside, and if I click this button, it changes it to uppercase. So this is a quick demonstration of how you guys can use state hooks and props. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.